Hi, Pramod. Welcome.
Hi, hello. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good. So, gathered here to talk about all the important topics that is the power of data in PPCAM.
Really looking forward to today's topic. We have got a lot to cover, especially when it comes to how data can transform your decision making in project management.
Absolutely. And you know what I heard a saying recently that in gods we trust, but others must bring data. And I know how important data is for project managers. And since you worked with a lot of project managers in your experience in your career, what has been your experience? Any stories to share?
So I have plenty of stories. I remember one time when I was working with one of the project manager, let's call him Adam, who was in the middle of a critical project. They were running behind schedule and he had to make some tough calls like reassigning resources or projects. He thought he could manage it based on his gut instincts, but he ended up causing a ripple effect of delays across other projects. His frustration was palpable. Before I share, Alok, I'm curious if you have ever found yourself in such a situation.
Oh, absolutely. When you said that instinct, I remember a few. And I've had good long career in sales and I've worked with a lot of project managers. And whenever I used to bid for big, large projects and I was close to winning them, I always used to speak to my project manager, ask him, this is what client is expecting. This is what their scope is. What do you think? Can we deliver? And I always used to get, so you just bring the project, we'll deliver, not to worry. That used to encourage me to sell more. And of course, we used to win as well.
But winning the projects is always good, isn't it?
Well, ideally it should be, but not always. So for that same project that we're talking about, we had committed certain scope, we had committed certain timelines against it. And just before a big milestone of that project, one of our vendors hit us snag. And we just didn't foresee it. We didn't really count for it. And the entire project derailed because of that. And I remember sitting in one of the review meetings, looking at the Gantt chart, knowing all the schedules, everything looked pretty fine that it would deliver, but it was not the case.
Wow, that sounds rough. It's crazy how not having a real-time data can snowball.
Well, you're right. I mean, we didn't have the right data. We didn't have the right resource allocation. We didn't really track the risks, potential risks. And we really didn't communicate the same thing with the customers. Now that in the hindsight, when I look back, I think having all that data, having everything at place would have also gained trust of the customers as well, saying this is what the potential risk is to achieve, what deadline you're set for. But I think a lot of project managers find themselves in that spot, the moment of doubt, where they are standing at the edge of cliffs and they have to decide whether to jump or go back. And the data, they don't have it. And that indecisiveness is not good. Other words that happen.
It's so true. And that indecisive can know it. You think you're doing right thing, but because you don't have the data in front of you, you end up in the spirals of what ifs. I've seen that emotional toll on so many project managers. They start questioning themselves, second guessing their decisions. And before you know it, the stress is through the roof.
It is. And it takes a lot of emotional toll on that because project managers are not the people who are doing the tasks. So they're actually managing the resources, or they manage the vendors as well sometimes. And also they're most importantly managing the expectations of their managers, leaders, and CXOs on. So it takes a lot of toll, rightly said.
Exactly. And that's where having the right data and right tools, providing the real-time data, makes the difference. Now, imagine if you have been able to see that the vendor delay coming weeks in advance. It could have saved so much stress. So to finish the story of Adam, once we introduced Celoxis into the mix, everything has changed. We built a custom dashboard that gave him a real-time picture, a real-time insight of his project's performance metrics, timeline, progress, budget, risk, resources, and everything. He didn't need to rely anymore on his gut. He had the data right in front of him. The relief was immediate. He said it was like a weight lifted off his shoulders. When they see your decision is based on the data, it builds confidence.
Absolutely. And this confidence actually builds the trust amongst your peers as well and amongst your customers as well. I mean, I know with the right data in place, you know what you have in front of you. Next day you go to the office, you're talking to clients, and even clients know that whatever is happening is at real time. And that gives you a good sleep. And I think that trust reassures the clients and every stakeholder that you're in good hands. The project is in good hands.
Exactly. No? I've seen the project managers who have switched to data-driven decisions or approach find themselves not only saving the project, but saving the relationship with the teams, management, and even with the clients. There's a sense of relief that comes knowing you are not just hitting in the dark.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's what we wanted to emphasize today, the importance of data. So today's topic was not a catchy phrase, but it actually can transform the way you manage project with the right data in your hand. And so that's what we want to discuss today. So this is the wrap from both. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alok. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to such more topics.
Absolutely. Thank you.